What would it take for my relationship with money to become neutral? Abundance is an inside job, and your intuition is the key to unlocking it all. Hello and welcome. I'm Rebecca Davison, founder of the Intuitive Life Academy, the leading place to develop your intuitive and psychic gifts. As an ascension guide and light leader, I'm committed to bringing you all the latest tools, developments, and the neuroscience available when it comes to the art of effortless manifestation. This show is for light workers and for those who identify that your intuition is your greatest guide to bring you happiness, expansion, and money. With my corporate banking background, you'll receive practical advice along with all the energetic tools that you can apply in your life today. So if this resonates with you, let's jump into the world of abundance and learn what it takes to experience true freedom. Hello and welcome, folks, to the Intuitive Abundance podcast. This is your host, Rebecca Davison, founder of the Intuitive Life Academy. Welcome to episode 13. Today, I want to look at neutrality and to unpack this a little bit and explain why, in the first instance, getting to neutrality with money is really important. So, which is kind of a slightly different approach perhaps than some people may have when it comes to wealth creation. In my experience with helping people shift limiting money beliefs, one of the first things to aim for would be neutrality. Money in and of itself is neutral. It doesn't have any agenda, it doesn't have any opinion, it's literally a piece of paper. We are the ones that are projecting the value, the meaning, the emotion, the perception, our perception on to money or our experience of money. So neutrality is really a live and let live energy, right? It's flexible, relaxed, unattached. Whatever happens, you roll with the punches. There's nothing to prove. There's a level of safety and, it's not complacency and laziness. It is really the place of there is no charge, there is no resistance. So really, if you're looking at your money beliefs, you probably want to put it into two segments. The first being how do we get from where we're at to neutrality, to a place where there is no charge, there is no resistance. And once you get to neutrality, then you can start really calibrating into more joyful frequencies, because the more expanded we are in our energy field, the more we will be amplifying our energy, the more filled up and spacious we will be in our energy field, the easier it is going to be to manifest what it is that we want, because we'll be learning what it is to calibrate to joy frequencies. So really looking in the first instance. And the irony being is that you might be listening to this and thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I feel quite neutral about money at the moment. But this is where your intuition is so powerful and your awareness in your body is really powerful. Because if we can start asking some questions which are often associated to money, we start uncovering information that maybe our mind is not consciously aware of. So even to start asking questions like, did I feel valued as a small child? And noticing what comes forward in your body. Now, there might be part of you that thinks that this doesn't have any direct correlation with money. But of course it does in terms of our self-perception and therefore the value that we receive in the form of energy, also known as money. You can have a direct correlation in regards to what we end up choosing for ourselves because of our perception of our own value. If we're valuable, then we can hold more energy of value, rather than if we don't see ourselves as valuable, it's almost like we can end up repelling money in a way. So in the first instance, we want to aim towards neutrality to get to a place where am I really neutral when it comes to money in the first instance. And yes, this does involve doing some shadow work. And I know the perception of shadow work, going into the deeper psyche, going into the subconscious, going in and asking questions of things that we have formulated, opinions, agendas, thought processes, behaviors, beliefs that have been obviously accumulated from past experiences. A lot of people can have fear around that. They start projecting onto it that that's going to be painful. I tell you what's more painful is not being aware. Lies are heavy and truth is light. When we bring the light into the darker places, everything can shift, and often really quickly, which is why when you're helping people clear energy around money, they often do have they manifest more clients, or they have a big lump sum of money come in, or something shifts and they come into alignment and they have an experience that they often see or deem as miraculous. In true fashion, it's not really miraculous, it's just alignment, coming into the alignment with what it is that you want. But in the first instance, we have to become neutral, especially in our emotional field, in terms of that. You think about it, a charge from being a child and being in the energy of going, okay, I'm 4 years old and I'm really not feeling like I was valued, I was seen, I was heard. It wasn't safe for me to express myself. And then as an adult, wanting to make or create more wealth for yourself, we'd need to do that work of going back and releasing that kind of feeling, the resistance, the contracted energy, to be able to come back to that space where it's just been released, surrendered, and therefore not present anymore. It's not causing any obstruction. It's not causing any resistance in our energy field. So I think often too, this can be easier a little bit for the mind, because sometimes when we have, we've got shadow work or subconscious wounding that we're not completely aware of in a moment-to-moment basis, it can be a little daunting to start looking into what it is that we believe. It can be, the ego can get activated and go, that's not safe, it's not going to be comfortable, I don't want to feel that way. And the irony is you actually learn how to move through it quickly. And once you've learnt, you can actually apply the tools and use them over and over again to be able to release more and more energy. It doesn't have to be hard or complicated. It doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be onerous or really painful or difficult. The thing about wanting to shift our limiting beliefs or shift energy or shift emotion out of the body is being willing. So I think this is really super important to be aware of, and just something that I think it's easy for the mind to connect to. What would it take for my relationship with money to become neutral, to get to that place where it's just relaxed, it feels safe, there's no resistance? And also too, a really great way to do this is to start asking yourself questions about what do you believe about money, and then start looking about where you have limiting beliefs, so beliefs that are contracted, like that money's not good, it's evil, it's bad, it causes pain for people, people fight over it, there's conflicts, people are greedy, ruthlessness, any other patterns or behaviors of energy that you've seen in your family. Start kind of writing them out. And again, writing them out obviously can even bring up some energy, because of course what you focus on is so important. But then start asking yourself that question: what's it going to take to get to a place of neutrality with all what I've written out? Just write it out and then ask yourself, what would it take, what it would feel like in my body to be neutral in regards to these beliefs? And you'll probably even feel a shift of energy, and even in that. When we ask a question, we're actually opening up energy, and the universe abhors a void, right? So it always shifts or moves into the void, into the question, to bring information, to bring awareness, to bring an answer. And that information is there instantaneously. Intuition is faster than the speed of thought. So the awareness is already there. So again, when we start asking questions and becoming more aware and being willing to look, being willing to be curious, which I believe is one of the most valuable traits that you can have as a human being. If you want to become self-actualized, you'll be a very curious person, willing to look under all the rocks and stones inside of yourself, willing to look in darker places, willing perhaps to go where your mind might tell you the angels fear to tread. Just be willing to look, to see, to know, to observe, to ask questions, to see what else is possible by choosing to focus your attention in a particular way, and starting by aiming to be neutral in your relationship with money. And again, a really great thing to do is to swap out the word money for the word value, and just start noticing where you feel valued, where you feel devalued in your life, not just in your present reality, but also from the past, right? Any of those times, those circumstances, those situations where you felt devalued, and also too, where you made perhaps some beliefs, some agreements, some decisions about what that meant, about what you made it mean, that you believed that you were being devalued in that moment, and maybe what the knock-on effect is of that. Because again, people who truly value themselves, and this is beyond ego, not coming from the space of I'm so great and I need to prove it to other people, but already knowing that you're whole and complete and perfect as you are. If you are in that energy, you will be able to hold the value of a lot of money. If you are not valuing yourself, then you won't be able to hold the frequency so easily. You'll have money come in and then it will disappear. You'll maybe make a lot of money and then something else will manifest in your reality, and then it will, just go again. And again, for some people, this can be a cycle of energy until they're aware of the pattern enough to realize that there's something else going on that needs to be investigated. So starting to, again, look at all these places where maybe there is not neutrality. And one of the best ways to do that is to start asking yourself some questions and really start tuning into how your body responds to even some of those questions, what comes forward, what is present in the body, and starting to be really aware of how it feels, because your body and your energy fields are so amazing in their guidance and awareness. They can bring you information instantaneously if you understand and learn how to read and measure energy and how the sensations feel in your body. It can bring you a huge amount of awareness in a really short period of time. So if you're just starting on your money journey, what I would encourage you to do is to maybe ask yourself that question, swap out the word value for the word money. So start asking yourself where you have felt devalued in your life, and then start being aware of perhaps maybe that is impacting your value proposition and how much money you are able to receive in your life. And then start looking at what would it take to shift that to a place of neutrality. Because when you're neutral, there's no obstacle to receiving. And then from a place of neutrality, you can start calibrating to more joy frequencies. It's easier to ask for money. It's easier to give money. It's easier to receive money. It's easier to feel good about money from a foundation of neutrality. So like I said, the first section is really to move from any contraction to neutrality, and then go from neutrality to joy in your money relationship. So just a short podcast today, folks. Thank you so much to all the people who've been tuning in and listening. I love that you are. If you would like to leave a review on iTunes, very much appreciate that. If you are on YouTube watching, please do be sure to subscribe so you get the next podcast coming out weekly. We love, love, love hearing your comments and feedback. It's so inspiring to hear that people have been making great shifts and changes just from listening to the podcast, which is awesome. And that's totally my intention. I hope that you're choosing to have a relationship with money that really serves you. And I think what's most important to know is that deep down, what you're really yearning for in your relationship with money is more of the universe, right? Really what you are yearning for on the deepest part of your being is to know the goddess in your body. So really allowing yourself to drop down into that on a deeper level and know what it feels like to be filled up with the joy of life, with life force energy, because that is truly what you are yearning for on a deeper soul level. I'm sending you so much love and light. I'll look forward to connecting with you again next week. Lots of love, folks. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you for joining the Intuitive Abundance podcast today. If you've enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and write us a review so we can help other people positively impact their lives. I would really love that. If you're ready to activate the energy of abundance within you, then be sure to go to www.intuitivelifeacademy.com to sign up for our abundance activation process. Until next time, here's to your ever-increasing freedom. All my love. Bye for now.